Headlines most affecting Chilliwack this week: a police takedown near Garrison. Watering restrictions will start earlier than usual. The Othello tunnels and the Coquihalla Canyon Park will see a partial opening. And the Chilliwack Chiefs have their sights set on second. Our guests this week include Sue Knott with Chilliwack Hospice and Rick Rogers from Agassiz Speedway. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. An early Easter present: Coquihalla Canyon Park and the Othello tunnels will have a partial reopening in July. Now, construction work will soon begin to repair the infrastructure damaged by severe weather from the floods in the atmospheric river back in November of 2021. Now, the first phase will focus on restoring facilities and access from the park entrance and the parking lot to the end of tunnel number 2. The trail will be resurfaced and elevated, so that should prevent similar damage from flooding if it ever happens again. Now, the rest of the park, that's the bad news. It won't open until 2025. Social media lit up over the weekend with pictures of a police presence off Watson near Vetter. Residents at Westwood Estates were told to stay inside for a few hours. The public asked simply stay away. There were reports that a warrant was being issued by police and 2 arrests apparently were made. However, as we are taping this, RCMP still have not released a formal statement. The 12th annual Hospice for Hoedown fundraiser is coming up. It's one of the bigger events for the Chilliwack Hospice, and Executive Director Sue Knott will be joining us in a few minutes with an update on what to expect for this year's event. The city of Chilliwack will start watering restrictions on May 1st instead of June 1st, as well as revising a number of the stages. Now, this is in anticipation of the combination of a low snowpack and the expected drought. Chilliwack and Coquihalla will have more options for active transportation with provincial funding for local projects. Now, the First Nation will receive $50,000 for the Chilliwack River Road multi-purpose walking path. It's a walking path that will run from Chilliwack River Road and Chilliwack Creek. Keith Wilson Corridor Improvement Project will get about $500,000. This is for 810 meters of a new sidewalk, a multi-use path, and painted bike lanes. The project will include upgraded lighting, drainage improvements, intersection safety improvements, and boulevard vegetation.
One, it's a job fair. So people who are looking to shift from their current role, who might want to get into renewable energy, they can actually apply to some of the companies are hiring. It's a trade show, so on the floor we actually, if you can believe it, our floor has sold out. It's a trade show of everybody that's involved in the climate response. So we have solar panel, we have heat pumps, you know, we have all the technology, the electric cars, but we also have the people working on the sustainability movement, whether that's secondhand clothes, which clothing is a really big, is a carbon footprint. Whether it's we even have a dietitian coming to speak on just shifting away to a more sustainable food. And in fact, we have someone coming from Uganda, and he's coming from overseas to learn what we're doing so he can take that back to his home country. The third part is speakers. We actually have 9 speakers who are leaders in their field of sustainability and climate change, and they'll be giving presentations. It's all on our website, so that's the main focus. I think what it is, when you come here, you can learn a bit, and it doesn't have to be big shifts. It's just little shifts of how we can all, if we all move in the same direction, it can actually make a difference. We also have things for the kids, so we're trying to make it a little more interactive this year. So we will have a kids area so kids can play while the parents are learning. But one of the things I didn't expect from running it last year was the networking that happened between the vendors. It's really a networking opportunity as well.
Hey, there you are. I'm Steve. Come on into Restorative Cycle. Chilliwack Restorative Justice repairs harm and prevents crime. For over 25 years, we have been supporting community.
We get used bicycle donations from you and they're serviced by our experienced technicians.
These bikes are awesome, just look at that. From children's sets to adults in all styles and colors.
Making them totally affordable.
We're proud to be of service to our community, and our bike program allows opportunity for that, either through donation or through buying one of our amazing bikes. Come by and take a look.
Chilliwack's Indigenous Justice Association is going to be receiving $327,000 of provincial funding over the next 3 years. Restorative justice addresses the needs of victims and the community, holding offenders accountable for the harm that they have caused. Victims have an opportunity to share the impact of the events with the offender. Offenders have an opportunity to talk about the circumstances of the crime. They can make amends with the victim and the community in ways that really can be more meaningful than other criminal justice processes. Cougar sightings have picked up as spring break has taken hold. There have been a couple of sightings at Lyndall Beach, another one at Teapot Trail. Now, you are asked to be aware of your surroundings, and please do call conservation officers with your concerns. Do that before you go on social media. The legend of the pick-apart pink duster is heading for the auction block. While there were calls for the car to be installed as, say, an art piece at the Lickman roundabout, well, council quashed that idea. The car is gutted. There's no engine. There's no transmission. It is painted with pink house paint, so it's not proper car paint, so yeah, it's not looking that great. But the owners of the car are teaming up with Beekman Auctions to sell the car as part of a Salvation Army fundraiser. So Beekman Auctions will match the winning bid for the item, and that fundraiser will end April the 4th. You can do this all online. With business news, the parent company for all of the Fraser Valley newspapers, including the Chilliwack Progress, has been sold. New ownership of Black Press by Canso, Dean's Knight, and Carpenter Media Group has emerged from creditor protection following the restructuring and the sale of the company. Now, the plan is to keep the papers Canadian-controlled. Coming up are interviews with Sue Knott.
Giddy up! The 11th annual Hometown Hoedown for Hospice is happening Saturday, April 6th at Evergreen Hall in Chilliwack. It's going to be a rip-roaring good time in support of the Chilliwack Hospice Society. Wrangle up your friends and family for a delicious barbecue dinner, live music by Cold Chain, dancing, drinks, a silent auction, and the always popular mechanical bull. Don't miss the Hometown Hoedown for Hospice, proudly presented by Kelmore Enterprises. Get your tickets now at chilliwackhospice.org.
This week continues with Sue Knott from Chilliwack Hospice, and I got to get this right. It's the 11th, can't believe it's 11 years now, the Chilliwack Hometown Hoedown for Hospice, 11 years ago when this started. You and I had a conversation going, let's hope this works. 11 years later, we're almost sold out.
Yes, we are almost sold out. We have 38 tickets left, which are going fast. I sold 6 today. And it's, it is the absolute most fun that you can have while raising money for a charity.
Now, the sponsors, we got to thank a couple of people who were involved.
Kelmore Enterprises is our title sponsor. And they have always been so generous and supported us over the years, and they are the title sponsor this year. We have a number of sponsors. I can't name them all, but we appreciate so much everything that they give to us. I know that we're getting a gold vehicle detail from Murray Honda. Mm-hmm. They're one of our sponsors, and a will from Simpson Notaries. They were our title sponsors last year. And a dinner for 2 at the Well, Elements Casino. But there's a million other things.
Good stuff. We got to thank, I never pronounced them properly. My apologies, guys. Ashlitz? I've lived here how long? And when you walk in, they've basically done the decor.
Oh, the decor is amazing. Like, it's everything you could possibly think of that is hoedowny. They give us butter churns and saddles and horses, and not real horses.
Not real,
yeah. Horse-looking things.
I like that. I like it.
Horse-looking things. It wouldn't be a hoedown without them. Every year they so generously lend us all their stuff. They trust it with us. And we make sure that we get everything back in perfect condition so that they'll let us have it again next year.
And again, this is the biggest fundraising event of the year for Chilliwack Hospice. But there's also an auction component.
Yes.
we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, we want to talk about the auction because coming this Sunday, the auction will be online.
Oh,
and if you
okay.
go to chilliwackhospice.org, you can get into the auction. You need to sign up and, put some pertinent details in there. And then you can start bidding on the items that will be available on the night, the silent auction items. And you could win the item. If you are the highest bidder, you don't necessarily have to be at the event. But you do definitely need to make sure that you're watching it on Saturday night because the bidding goes crazy, of course, when the people are all there. But we have over 80 items, some really, really cool things. Vancouver Canucks superstar Elias Pettersson. I always get those two Peterson boys.
She's good.
Stuff.
She's good at this.
But we have a jersey of his. We have an autographed book, which, if you don't have kids, this won't be a big deal, but it's The Paper Bag Princess. And the author is Robert Munch.
Oh.
He's autographed this book for us. We have a luxurious Dermapure Hydrofacial, which is worth about, $300. Let's see, what else?
I could probably use that.
4
Yeah.
rounds of golf at Sandpiper Resort. We also have the men in kilts that will come and clean the outside of your house.
Oh.
They power wash and do windows and all that gutter cleaning, and they do it in kilts, apparently. That would
Apparently.
be worth bidding on just to actually see that.
And the other thing that is always there, the bronking bull.
Yes. Yes. The
Mechanical bronc. Not a real one. Not a real one. Unless you're like me and you've worked in Calgary, and that's something else. But
yes, our mechanical bull is sponsored by Simpson Notaries this year. And
a legal firm. How appropriate, just in case. Okay.
Well, they're actually notaries.
Oh, notaries. Okay.
But it always blows me away that people, middle-aged people, well, there's young people too, and there's older people, but that they'll, halfway through the night, they'll, have a few cocktails and they'll think, wow, that looks like a good idea. I'm going to go on the mechanical bull. And, fortunately, we are insured. And we have,
making
there's
sure
a
that,
big,
yeah.
Thing that you can land on so that you're not going to hurt yourself.
Lots of foam and, yeah.
It's the indignity of the whole thing. Flying off this thing backwards and your legs are in the air. And, I mean, more power to you if you're going to be the one to do it.
Bring your camera.
But,
Yeah.
that thing is so busy all night long. Yeah, we could, send that off to America's Funniest Home Videos because they are so funny. But people love it, and no injuries so far. Fingers crossed. Be careful.
And it's always a fantastic dinner.
It is. Smoke and Bones, barbecue, amazing dinner. For the price of the ticket, which is like $85, you get a dinner, you can be on the mechanical bull, you get a great band, Cold Chain, that's going to be playing all night with lots of dancing and all the rest of it. There's a silent auction, a live auction. There's the famous dessert dash where people have to go and they donate money at their table, and whoever donates the most goes first. And people, they're not under any obligation to donate. So by the end of it, we have 10 tables where we're screaming these numbers out one after another. And these people are tearing to the table to get the best looking dessert that they could possibly get. And they're all different, all donated. Really, really great.
April the 6th, Evergreen Hall. And thanks again for coming.
Thank you, Donnie.
You're watching This Week. After a battle in Victoria that ended in a shootout win against the Grizzlies, Chilliwack Chiefs are guaranteed at least third place in the Coastal Conference. They got a great shot at finishing second. So when the regular season is over and the BC Hockey League playoffs begin, the Chiefs will face off against either Langley or Coquihalla. So the Chiefs still have 2 more regular season games remaining. They'll head back to the island to take on Cowichan, that's on Friday, and Nanaimo on Saturday. Now, combined against the two teams, the Chiefs have a pretty good season record of 6-1. So no matter how the season ends, the Chiefs know they're going to be having home ice advantage to start the playoffs. Game 1, no matter who it is against, is April the 5th, 7 o'clock at the Coliseum. Just weeks away from the start of the new season for Agassiz Speedway, we're going to have an interview with Rick Rogers from the track and find out what's happening, including some paving work. That's in just a few minutes' time. Cheakton FC has been busy off the pitch. Glenn Wilson accepted the position of executive director. Ryan Critchley accepting the position of technical director. Sebastian Rivera is now the assistant technical director, and more information can be found on the TFC social media. Ski resorts have really taken it on the chin this season. The snowpack has been awful. The business all hit on the bottom line. Manning Park no different, and last week, Vern Schramm, the general manager of Manning Park Lodge, said what we all kind of thought was going to happen. The 2024 season is done early. Meanwhile, Sasquatch Mountain Resort, that's still open until at least the end of spring break. Coming up, Rick Rogers from Agassiz Speedway, and then Cari with the weather. chillTV long weekend weather. Cari, will the Easter long weekend be a washout for the Easter Bunny?
Hi, Chilliwack. The weather this weekend is going to go back to some sunshine, which is going to be wonderful. Temperatures are going to get up to maybe 16, 17 degrees. Still very chilly at night, though, getting down to about 3. Only chance of rain next week, possibly Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. So we've turned the corner. Spring is coming. This weekend is going to be fabulous, especially since it's the long weekend. There we go with the car. It's the long weekend and we all get to enjoy Easter. Fun fact, Easter changes every year because it actually falls on a lunar cycle instead of an actual set date. Happy Easter, everyone, and have a great week.
Thanks, Cari, and thank you for watching. If you have a local news story you'd like us to report on, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great Easter long weekend. Don't eat too much candy. I'm Don Lehn.